what's going on, fellow currency lovers? It's time for another bill search. So let's jump right into it with a Series 2013 $5 banknote. First things I like to look for, if you are new to my videos, is stuff in the serial numbers, the seals, print issues, fancy serial numbers, ink smears, a whole plethora of fun things to look for in bills. That's the coolest thing I like about the hobby, why I got into it. And is because, you walk around, you spend your money all day on Burger King and, going out and stuff like that. Your bills, the funnest thing to spend money on. And, you might have a hidden gem in your pocket. So hopefully you enjoy these videos. We go through and look at stuff in my pocket, and then you can go through and look at stuff in your pocket money, and hopefully come across something worth a bunch of money. So anyway, in this $5 note, I do notice a lot of damage to the note. Looks like it's been wet at some point. There's quite a bit of discoloration going on. For instance, you can notice a discoloration happening up here. Now, on $5 notes, this little swirly edge border is part of the design of $5 notes post the early 2000s when they did a few redesigns. This was primarily for anti-counterfeiting measures, also to enhance graphics and kind of change the bills up, but mostly a counterfeit deterrent. Other than that, I don't see anything on the front of this note as far as errors are concerned. I get a lot of questions about over-inks of serial numbers sticking through the back of notes. That's just part of the production process. It could be a multitude of things. In this case, it's just a heavy laid down serial number. And remember, serial numbers and seals are printed in a different phase of the process than the depictions on the notes. So that would explain why over the course of a note's life, the seals and serial numbers seem to stay more vibrant when the remainder of the note surrounding them begins to deteriorate. So just a little tidbit there of why that's the case. Now, other than the redesign, there wasn't much changed about fives. They did enhance the depiction of Lincoln, as well as doing it with $20 notes and a few others, but ones and twos have not been redesigned in over 50 some odd years. $20 note, Series 2017A. 2017 series is a gargantuan run of notes. 2017A is just but a sub-series of that massive run. Now, in the serial number, there's a little bit of repetition going on, but to answer the question that comes to my email or Facebook a lot, unless it's a clump or a fancy serial number where it has a pattern in it, I wouldn't consider it an error, nor is it collectible. Really good looking note though, no creases or anything as far as a condition thing. This kind of little line marks, that's from a bill counter at the bank. So if you notice there's little ticks, that's where the little teeth from the grabber grab the bill and flip it over. So that would explain that. So not an error, more like a machine error, I guess, in a sense. Damage created by a machine in which is used to count bills. We'll go a little bit quicker through them. Series 2013, $1 note. Good shift in the seal here. That's something to keep an eye out for. Shifts in the seals and serial numbers. They usually coincide with each other. When one is shifted, so is the other. Nice wet ink transfer. This is going to be from when the bills were first printed. They are stacked atop one another. And ink will kind of transfer over. Also, this has been folded, so it could just be gobbledygook from somebody's hand. Little bit of miss ink right here in the wreath, but not prevalent enough for me to hold on to. Straighten that guy out. Looks like it got a little highlighter or some pink stuff on it. But aside from that, almost a date note, August 31st, and then bleh. Now, one thing to keep an eye out for is birthday notes and date notes. If this was like August 15th, 1994, that would be a good note to hold on to. A lot of people pay above face value for birthday serial numbers. Also, historical dates. So like 1776 in there, stuff like that. Next bill, 2017 series, also a large run for $1 banknotes. Nice clear depiction of Washington. Usually these are quite beat up already, despite the fact it's not a super old series. But $1 notes get handled more than any other bill So, keep that in mind. That's generally why, when found in circulation, they're pretty jacked up. Little wedding transfer here. It looks like a little thumbprint. It's actually just a transfer of ink, if I can grab the bill, from Washington's lapel and jacket over to the other bill that was sitting on top of it. And we'll start on the back on this one. Another $1 banknote, little mystery series. We'll find out when we flip it. Now, if you're interested in what all these different little numbers are, the plate annotations, why the design is what it is, I do have a video from way, way back. I'll probably do an update video just to kind of touch on better detail of it. But it covers the different types of banknotes in U.S. currency, what are found in circulation, and kind of covers what the layout is and the different parts of it are. So I think it's an interesting video. Maybe you'll find it too, so check that out. Let's see. Missing a couple digits, but almost a broken ladder. Broken ladders are going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever. Well, 8 digits rather. And they can be broken up. It's better to find it in a ascending or descending ladder where they're actually in order. But people will collect either one. Other than that, bill looks pretty decent other than condition issues. 2009 series has a bit of a counter stamp on it. So if you're looking at this tone of blue is not used in the actual printing ink of US banknotes. You can also see that it's almost like the tops of numbers in it if you look really closely. And that's usually a part of a bank stamp. So the strap probably was sitting kind of funky. They went blap, and then they stamped it to show that they received the bills at the bank. And that's where that's from. Nothing in the serial number, nothing in the seals. A little bit of shift up in the seal and serial numbers, but, I only notice it because I look at bills tons of times a day. Missing a little ink here, but it's very, very light. Next note, $5 note, Series 2013. Nice fold down the middle of it. Somebody folded that up and shoved it in their shoe or whatever. We got a little bit of a shift here in the serial numbers. They're a little high. They're a little to the right, as you can see with this seal here. Now, other than that, though, everything's, printed pretty normal. And some of these little splotches of color around the bill, it's hard to tell whether that is a production error or if it's just damage to the note from circulation, which is most likely what it is. These press through serial numbers. People ask me about kind of how it's a little squiggly sometimes with this line that runs around the 5. That's all acceptable from a printing aspect on bills, so not an error. Moving on, Series 2017. This is not an A series, so this is the main series here for 2017. Only differences on these $1 notes as opposed to any other are the signatures at the bottom of the note. Aside from that, everything else is exactly the same. They only changed up and added "In God We Trust" on the back of the notes back in 1957. So, no deal. No big deal there. We're not really looking for anything that's crazy different between one banknote and another, as far as ones are concerned. Same wet ink transfer, a little bit more running all the way down here. I get asked a lot about blurring between the letters slightly. Unless it's where you can't read the letter, I would say that's not an error. That's more just your kind of standardized dealio. What else? Here we go. Look at that. Almost a radar note. So, what is a radar note? It's able to be read forward to backward, backward to forward. I wish this was zeros in the middle. That would be stellar. 412-00214. So, somewhere in the series, of course, someone has that note. They might not even know. But radar notes can command a few bucks above face value. This is a really good example of something to look out for. Albeit this is 1 digit off. But I really like it. I'm not going to hold on to it, but I'm really glad that we came across something that's close to a radar note, so you can actually see an example of what we're talking about. Really beat up on the back. Looks like it was rubbed on like iron, like a cast iron pot or something that's all rusted out. Other than that, really cool. I mean, nothing that I see jumping out at me, but keep an eye out for radar notes. 2017 series $1 note as well. Let me straighten that up. There we go. Nothing crazy on the front. Little bit of a lack of ink on the part where it says Secretary of the Treasury under Stephen Mnuchin's name. He came under fire last year a little bit for some stuff, but I'll leave that up to you to research. Aside from that, the Great Seal is printed really nicely. I think it's a lovely depiction on the back of $1 notes. Other than that, nothing. And then last but not least, let's go through these two. 09090401. So it actually is a date, albeit long ago. Most likely nobody's alive from then unless they are a vampire, which is possible. But anyway, September 9th, 401, I'll look to see if something historical happened, but the United States didn't exist then, so it's not going to be historically important for the United States, which is what I like to keep it to, seeing as how we're looking through U.S. banknotes. Aside from that, bill's in really good condition, overall. Little bit of an ink smear up here, but it looks to be, once again, from one of those bill counters. Pesky bill counters. A little bit of highlighter or something, pen mark. And then really clear depiction. I mean, I love the way they enhance graphics. There's so many pixels in the graphics on bills now that you can actually make out Lincoln's face, which is pretty cool. Really cool place to go check out as well if you're ever in the area. And lastly, 49548485. Little bit of a shift here in the seal. Little bit of a ticker note with the 5 on this serial number sitting a little high, but nothing too crazy there. Let's look at the back of the note. Nice wet ink transfer. You can really make out almost Washington there. I have kept a couple wet ink transfers that were like the full outline of the portrait of Washington transferred over, but this one's not severe enough for me to hold on to. Aside from that, nothing really crazy jumping out on the back of this note. So it's a good old dollar bill. I'm going to go buy a soda or something on the way to work. Nothing found in this bill search. I mean, if you watch my videos, I don't always find stuff, so sorry to let you down if you just watch the whole video and you're like, what the heck? But I try to give as much information as I can to look for bills while searching through your money. I mean, what would be the fun and the treasure hunt of bill searching if you found something every single time? Yeah, that'd be fun for you, but that would mean that probably everybody's finding stuff all the time, and it wouldn't be worth anything. So keep an eye out in your pocket change for coins and banknotes worth more than face value. Check out my website, VarietyErrors.com, for free price guides on coins and currency, both in the US and abroad, and I will see you in the next video.